What do the scenes of tombs in ancient Egypt tell us? Did the ancient Egyptian depict himself in the form of a black man? Does the ancient Egyptian hide his identity or, in other words, escape from it? Who is the real Egyptian who built these great pyramids and temples? To find out the answer to all these questions, please stay with me. I'm Nazi Suleiman, an Egyptian archaeologist. I'm going to tell you more about Afrocentric. Please follow me. In previous lectures, we talked about the bones and remains of the bones of the ancient Egyptians, but some may not believe in the authenticity of the bones, although they are irrefutable evidence that cannot be forged. Today, we may look at things from another angle. Which is, how did the ancient Egyptian portray himself? What were his apparent physical features? In order to be impartial, let us see the matter through the eyes of the ancient Egyptian. And let us go back a lot, specifically to the year 2680 BC, when the Old Kingdom began. The mastaba of Ahed-hotep and Ptah-hotep? The mastaba designated D64 is located in the northwest part of the necropolis of Saqqara, to the west of the step pyramid of Djoser. It constitutes the most important element of a much vaster domestic funerary complex and was the common burial of two high commissioners from the end of the 5th dynasty. The monument was discovered by Marriott at the time of the excavations which he had undertaken in 1850. The only detailed documentation is that produced by Norman de Garris Davis, at the beginning of the 20th century. I think everyone sees the features of the ancient Egyptian without the need for explanation: the pointed noses, the mouths with small lips, the beautiful eyes, and the slender stature. The tomb of Ptah. This is part of a group of 11 burials which are located immediately to the south of the causeway leading to the Pyramid of Wanis, discovered and searched in 1940 by Abd al-Salam Muhammad Hussein. Its owner was an official of intermediate official rank. His main title was appropriately that of an employee of the butcher's shop, in the service of the king. It is the scenes of the butcher's shop which were worthy of the famous nickname given to the tomb, that of Tomb of the Butchers. The chapel of the tomb is small, but remarkable, on the one hand because it is dug entirely into the cliff, on the other hand because it includes a set of 14 statues in variable degrees of finish, of which some, exceptional for the Old Kingdom. I think everyone sees the features of the ancient Egyptian without the need for explanation: the pointed noses, the mouths with small lips, the beautiful eyes, and the slender stature. The tomb of Khajemni. In the first years of the reign of Teti, first king of the 6th dynasty, circa 2321 to 2290 BC, an official named Khajemni was appointed to the rank of Chief Justice and Vizier, the highest post in the bureaucracy of Old Kingdom Egypt. Teti had good reason to trust his new vizier because Khajemni was a son-in-law of the king through marriage to the king's daughter. I think everyone sees the features of the ancient Egyptian without the need for explanation: the pointed noses, the mouths with small lips, the beautiful eyes, and the slender stature. The tomb of Mariaf Nebiev. This tomb was discovered in 1997 on the site of Saqqara, by a team from the Polish Center of Mediterranean Archaeology of the Warsaw University, controlled by Professor Karol Myśliwik. The discovery followed 2 years of location work. The tomb is a rock-hewn structure with a mud brick superstructure, located in a cliff ledge which runs north-south approximately. It belongs to a character, until now unknown, a vizier from the beginning of the 6th dynasty, 2350 to 2160 BC. I think everyone sees the features of the ancient Egyptian without the need for explanation: the pointed noses, the mouths with small lips, the beautiful eyes, and the slender stature. The mastaba of Meruka is situated in the northeast sector of the necropolis of Saqqara, not far from the edge of the plateau, just to the north of the Pyramid of Teti, the first pharaoh of 6th dynasty. During this period power of the pharaohs was declining, as can be seen in the comparatively small size and poor construction of their pyramids. However, increasing power attained by the large aristocratic families became apparent in the size and quality of the decoration of their mastabas. As with all high officials, Meruka was attributed with dozens of titles, some of which were purely honorific, but some were of functions which he actually performed. He would have held many of these before taking on the high office of vizier. Among his other titles are the following: Inspector of the priests attached to the Pyramid of Teti, Governor of the Palace, Scribe of the Divine Books, Overseer of the Royal Record Scribes, Chief Lector Priest. I think everyone sees the features of the ancient Egyptian without the need for explanation: the pointed noses, the mouths with small lips, the beautiful eyes, and the slender stature. The mastaba of Neferhur and Ptah at Saqqara. Known as the bird tomb, because of the great number of fowl engraved or painted on its walls, it is part of a group of 11 burials discovered and searched in 1940 by Abd al-Salam Muhammad Hussein. Nefer was not a senior official of the state, but belonged to a group of men who were holders of functions appropriate to the sovereign's personal service. He took care of the king's hairdressing. Undoubtedly, we can observe the physical characteristics of the people in this tomb, all of whom resemble modern Egyptians. The tomb of Jehutihotep is the most important and best preserved of the tombs of the site of El Bersha. This tomb is famous for the representation, unique in all Egyptian art. I think everyone sees the features of the ancient Egyptian without the need for explanation: the pointed noses, the mouths with small lips, the beautiful eyes, and the slender stature. In the cemeteries of the New Kingdom, scenes of Africans abound, so we see them as captives and slaves, some of whom are slaughtered as an offering to the Egyptian gods, and some are taken as slaves. We also see them handcuffed as slaves or depicted on shoes as an expression of their contempt by the Egyptians, and they are always depicted as enemies of Egypt. We see clear differences between the Africans and the Egyptians in the scenes of the tombs, so the Africans are depicted with thick lips and flat noses, in contrast to the Egyptians. We often find in the texts of the tombs describing the Africans as slaves, the enemies of Egypt. This is how the ancient Egyptian portrayed himself, and this is how he portrayed the Africans whom he considered slaves and enemies of Egypt. We would have seen a wonder in this time, as Africans come out to us claiming that they are the owners of this civilization. And time still brings us all wonders. Some of them try to falsify some views of the Egyptian tombs using Photoshop, in order to convince his foolish followers that they are the owners of this civilization. But we say to them, there is no place for you here. Dr. Nazi Suleiman was with you. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day. Hope to meet in a new video tomorrow.